Hey everybody, welcome to a Wednesday edition of Box Seats. I'm your host, Frank Holder, sitting up here with comedians known as Talent and Fig. These comics have been in the game for a long time. These guys have been in comedy specials, comedy films, comedy tours, anything related to comedy. And now they have joined us in a sports talk show that we call the Box Seat. So first of all, let's get this show started by Talent. How you doing today? And Fig, how you doing today?
I'm good, man. I'm on top of the world, baby. He's about to get rid of 2020. I'm good.
I know.
Yes, sir.
Great thing.
On top of the world.
How about you, Vic?
And I'm checking my bank account every few minutes to see what's going on.
Yeah. All right, let's get the show started. I always normally give a COVID report today, so let me get the COVID report today. And I didn't do one yesterday because it was so long. Today it's short. The COVID report today is that there have been two positive COVID tests at the Cleveland Browns facility, which is really strange because Cleveland really needs to win that game this week to make the playoffs. They haven't made the playoffs since 2002. They don't want any COVID tests, as you can imagine, because it might pull some players, coaching staff, people like that in a game that they absolutely need to win. There's that. There's also daily testing going on for all of the teams in college football, and they're doing it every day instead of every 6 days. They're doing it every day because college football playoffs is happening this week. And with college football, we already know that the Rose Bowl was yesterday. We were talking about the Rose Bowl that's happening this week, and we talked about that yesterday. And today I want to talk about Clemson versus Ohio State. That's the Sugar Bowl. Everybody's looking at that because Trevor Lawrence is the man. Talent. Trevor Lawrence. I know you all got to be looking at him, New York fans, because New York has a slim chance of getting them. I think things shifted to go to Jacksonville. Either way, the attention's got to be on Trevor Talent.
Well, they can have him. Yeah. I've been talking to some of my Jet fans this week, and I think we done made the decision we're going to really build around Sam Darnold.
Yeah. Honestly,
I really think that's where we're going.
Yeah, especially if the Jets get the number 2 pick, they could get an outside linebacker or something like that. Fig, wouldn't you say?
We need everything else.
Yeah, because Fig and I have been talking about for the last couple of weeks that they don't need Trevor Lawrence. Fig, correct me if I'm wrong. They don't need Trevor. Sam Darnold's a beast. That's what I
like Sam Darnold. I think he's a formidable quarterback. I think what the Jets need more than anything else is some of those other pieces on the defensive end. And maybe the offensive line. They need somebody to make sure that Sam Darnold has time enough to do what it is that he needs to do. Trevor Lawrence is nice. I don't think he should go to Jacksonville either. Ain't the Jacksonville Jaguars. Ain't no Jaguars in Jacksonville. Not unless they at the zoo.
All right, and the next other news is Arizona college basketball program is doing something really huge. They are doing a posting a 1-year ban, which is taking some money off the table because of recruiting, some basketball recruiting. They've been caught on tape doing some outside things, illegal things, or that they shouldn't be doing. So they posed themselves, which is really strange because, Talent, I'll say this. I think it's really smart that they did a self-imposing ban, and I don't know too many schools that say, you know what, we're going to back out before the NCAA or the feds come in and tackle it. Because, the feds come in, they might put a 5-year ban on them, a 3-year ban. But no, we know we got caught. We caught them. We out. When you hear that, Tal, what you think?
That's very smart. Sometimes if you beat the people to the punch, you know what I mean, that saves you a lot of headache. Police pull over. Your license is suspended? Yeah, about that. You know what? My bad. Hey, take this cocaine too. Before they say get out the car and you find the cocaine, then they go, aha. But if you go, take this cocaine, I don't know how this cocaine got in my car. Thank you. Yeah. So anyway, my thing ain't really that suspended. Here's the thing. They did one of those. They pulled the okie doke before you could get the okie doke. Because let's keep it real. You are going to get slapped harder because when people got to reprimand you, it's like they're going to come after you like you knew and you were trying to get over. Mm-hmm. If you undercut that comes in and go, you know what? We found some discrepancies and we're going to back out of this thing. Even if they want to do something after you do something, it's not going to be as severe. That was a very smart move.
Yeah, I agree with that because the NCAA, they funny like that. Fig, what's your thoughts when you hear that they did a self-imposing ban and pulled their ban? So if they make the NCAA tournament, they're not going. We will decline the invite. That's what they're doing.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, it's basically what Dave Chappelle said when the cop pulled him over. He was like, sorry, officer. I didn't know I couldn't do that.
I didn't know I could do that.
You punish yourself so nobody else gets a chance to say anything. That's what
Yeah.
the deal is.
Right.
You know what I mean? No. We're going to handle this in-house. In-house means ain't nobody getting punished for nothing. No, we're all right. We found out. We caught them, and we're gonna handle this. We don't need no outside interference. We don't need nobody going to prison unnecessarily. You know, forget about this this corn liquor that we got under the table here. Don't worry about that.
Hey, Frank got the humor mill. Frank, you know they pulled what we call a Ralphie May. You know, Ralphie May, God bless the dead, was a big, huge, fat comedian, and his whole shtick was to talk about his damn self.
Yeah. I used to love Ralphie May's stick. It's hilarious. You know,
Yeah.
I think
But that
everybody
was
you crack on yourself. Like you crack on yourself, that gets everybody into it. You know. So let me talk about now the Cleveland Browns, man, because I mentioned them really quickly because they got obviously they have got to win this week. If they win and the Colts lost, they're in the playoffs. It'll be the first time they're in the playoffs since 2002. Baker Mayfield will finally look like the savior, and he will look like the man. I'm going to ask you, Talent, if Cleveland loses, is the season still a success because they came this far? What do you think?
If Cleveland was what?
If Cleveland loses, is the season still a success even though they don't make the playoffs? They got real.
Oh, absolutely. It wasn't too long ago that we were cracking and laughing at Cleveland Browns for being the worst team, you know, in the league. And remember, it's like the Jets are this year. We were like following them the whole season. Will they get a game? Will they get a game? That wasn't too far ago. You know, that was too long back. So the fact that they turned that team around and became the top two teams nobody wants to see in the playoffs is the Cleveland Browns and the Buffalo Bills. The fact that you became that force to be reckoned with, that people don't want to match up against you, means you done jump hurdles of success and progress from just a season and a half ago.
Yeah, honestly, before they got Baker Mayfield, they were horrid, and then they got Baker Mayfield with OBJ and the other wide receiver from Miami. I forgot his name. I have to ask Stack that day. But they started putting together some pieces, and then of course the running back from Kansas City fell into their lap. You know what I mean? Now Cleveland has turned everything around. Just in I want to say literally in 24 months. So Fig, what you think? Is it still a success as a Cleveland team, as an organization, if they don't make the playoffs, or do they got to make it a playoffs for it to be a success for them?
Anybody that doesn't call what Cleveland has done already a success is absolutely out of their mind. Cleveland was famous for winning one game a year.
Yeah,
that was it. That's all they ever won. It was one game a year. And when Baker Mayfield got there, he won a couple of games. They gave him a little praise for that. They was like, all right, now you won a couple of games. And you're supposed to be this guy. Let's see what you do next year. And then they didn't do very well. But this year, I mean, they are in contention for the playoffs. We're talking about the Cleveland Browns. If you got to talk about anybody formative on the Cleveland Browns before Baker Mayfield, we have to go all the way back to Jim Brown of the Cleveland Browns. So, yeah, as far as I'm concerned, whether they make the playoffs or not, this is a success.
Not only that, remember how people used to make fun of the color of the team and they used to compare the color to something else? Remember that? Yeah, I know you all remember that. Everybody used to compare.
Doodle Brown. That's what they
they used to compare them like, man, please. Even Bill Belichick got out real fast. He's like, this is not for me. I'm out of here. He got out real fast. So here's the thing I also want to talk about. We didn't get a chance to talk about was the Jets. The Jets seem like they're trending, and I'm talking about them purposely because the Jets seem to be trending in the right direction. Even though obviously they lost out on the Trevor Lawrence thing like that. Do you think the Jets? Now I know I'm asking New York fans and everything else. Do you guys think the Jets are trending in the right direction? They got 20-something picks. They got obviously They got a lot of things that's getting ready to go on behind the scenes with, of course, the organization, things like that. So is the city of New York and the state of New York in a great place right now thinking about the Jets' talent, or they just still think they garbage?
No. I mean, if the New York fans see the progress of where they headed, and we didn't see it. The funny thing is, we didn't see it till way past halfway through the season. You know, you win it. Every team goes into the season hoping to have a winning season, a decent record, squeak into the playoffs, make some things happen. That didn't happen. So midway through the season, everybody's head is down, like, what the hell is going on? Then you start to look at the draft picks over the next 2 seasons. You start to look at what they're doing, and then you see light at the end of the tunnel in some of those games, even the ones they may have lost that they was in. We watched a handful of games where they were in it until the last 4 minutes of the game, and something happens, a turnover, a big thing happens, or a big play, and they lose the game against formidable teams. So when you look at these last 2-3 weeks, New York fans are like, okay, like I just said in the beginning of the show, is like, now I was in a barbershop, mad Jets and Giants fans, and all they're talking about is, we don't want Trevor Lawrence. We think Sam Darnold's a formidable quarterback. We think he's nice, but we need something around him. Fig mentioned the line. That's one thing, but he needs weapons too.
Yeah.
Like, every good quarterback needs that standalone guy. That's what Mayfield thought he had in OBJ, and then he ended up being a distraction more than a superstar. And guess what? Mayfield's been doing all of that with him to the side.
Yeah. I say this. I think everything turned around since the Jets lost to the Raiders. The Jets should have won that game, but things turned around, and then I think they ran off 2 or 3 wins right after that. So, Fig, you feel like the sky falling, or is it promising going forward? Because they won. I think they won the last 2 games. They could have won 3 games. Let's be honest, they were in 5 games. You know what I mean? They were in
a bunch of them. Yeah, I think the Jets are headed in the right direction. One thing, I hate to toot my own horn, but the thing is, one thing that people say about New York fans is that we're some of the most knowledgeable fans in the country. Like, it's hard to insult a New York fan, because if our team stinks, we the first person to tell you our team stinks. Unlike the Dallas Cowboys, when their team stinks, they're going to tell you they're going to the Super Bowl. New York fans are not like that. We know pretty much what it is our team is going through, and whether we get pretty decent or not. We'll tell you if a play is garbage, if the team is trending in the right direction. With Sam Darnold on the New York Jets, the team is trending in the right direction. Like Talon said, he needs weapons, he needs protection, he needs playmakers around him in order for them to do what it is they need to do. And it's the same thing with the Giants, man. I see the Giants defense really stepping up and doing their thing, like their quarterback too.
All right, let's get ready to talk about now the Dallas Cowboys, because the Dallas Cowboys, since Fig just brought them up, Dallas Cowboys, if they win, the Dallas Cowboys are in the playoffs now. Now, here's the question to you, Tom. If Dallas Cowboys win, does that change the tactics that they deal with Dak Prescott if they win? Because now they're in the playoffs. You know what I mean? Their whole thing is that, the whole thing that Dak Prescott's team was saying is that, I'm sitting here, I'm injured. You all doing horrible, and the playoffs don't look good. But the playoffs literally look like they're on the horizon with the Dallas Cowboys win this week. Doesn't mean they're going to do anything in the playoffs. It's not that it's part of negotiation tactics. What you think going on right now with the Cowboys management and Jerry Jones when he's looking at that whole thing, if they win?
Well, first of all, I think they play Giants, so that ain't going to happen. Second of all, Jerry Jones is a football guy.
Mm-hmm.
We call him all the bad things and names in the book because he's that too. He's a bunch of things, but at the top of that list, he's a football guy. And I say that to say football guys, they know luck from skill. Mm-hmm. They know he's going to look at things like their record at the end of the season record. He's going to look at things like the horrible division. And he's going to look at all these things and all the luck and flips of coins that got him to where he is, even if he gets to win and get in the playoffs. Jerry's not willing to bet on being lucky next year and the year after that and the year after that. I don't think it affects the Dak game, because I think if Jerry set on having Dak like he was before squeaking in the playoffs, he's going to do the same thing. He's going to still pay Dak because Jerry's a football guy. And football guys do not go off of good luck or bad luck. They go off of trying to pay to assure they're going to be a bona fide team or franchise.
Yeah, I think they're gonna regret. I think they're gonna regret if they don't pay Dak. If they let Dak go, even though Dak is obviously under contract for one more year because he got franchised, they will regret if they mess that up. They will regret that. That's what I think. What you think?
I still believe in the fact that they should have paid Dak before. If they don't, I think Dak will be one of those omens over the team that'll come back to haunt them later on. And whether the if the Dallas Cowboys make it into the playoffs, it's a major difference. I don't get. Look, we've all been in this industry for a long time. It's a major difference when you're invited to the party and you get to the door and your name is actually on the list and you actually get into the party, or whether you have to sneak into the back door. If the Dallas Cowboys make it into the playoffs, that is the equivalent of sneaking into the back door, which means you don't belong here.
Mm-hmm.
You weren't invited.
Yeah, you need to get your behind out. Let's talk about the NBA, man. I wanted to throw some stuff up there before we bring in Rodney Perry. I heard something this morning that since Toronto Raptors are now 0-3 and the trade deadline is moved than it normally would be, the trade deadline is now March 25th, that Toronto is taking offers for Pascal Siakam. And right now, they called up Atlanta. Atlanta has some interest. They haven't said who they want to do, but Atlanta is not going to trade Trae Young. But if Pascal Siakam is traded and Toronto is doing horrible right now, do you think that's a great move for Toronto to get back into it? Or do you think that's the worst piece that they should move? Now, I'll go on record right now saying Serge Ibaka was one piece they shouldn't have moved because that was one of the biggest pieces they should not have done. And I think they're feeling it right now. And Pascal Siakam is the second piece they shouldn't, do right now. So, what you think, Talent? What's your thought process?
I don't know what the hell they're doing over there. Why? Like, what? Well, I don't even know why these certain talks don't make any sense. You know what I mean? You just like you just said, you did the surge thing, right? It's one thing to do it, and people go, don't do that. But when you fast forward and see was it a good or bad idea, you see it was a bad idea.
Mm-hmm.
And now here you come with another bad idea to test the waters, and then you go into if you can't get Trae Young and you're doing business with Atlanta, what are you getting?
Man,
I agree with you. This is horrible. Like you don't make compounding bad decisions one after the other, unless maybe, man, people. I think a lot of teams get into that rebuild state of mind before we do,
mm-hmm.
and maybe that's what we're looking at.
Maybe, but I'll say this, and as I throw it on to Fig, there got to be some players on. If you have an NBA team you got to build from somebody. You know what I mean? Like you got to have some players. Like I'm not touching this guy. You can have anybody else, but you can't have. This guy. You can't have this guy, and you got to build a foundation. And maybe they don't see it the way we see it, but Pascal Siakam is a future. He's a bona fide star in this league. That's why I look. I would love to have him on the Celtics. But what you think, Fig? And I'm sure you guys would love to have him on the Knicks.
Absolutely. Well, depending on what we got to give up for him. I love Pascal Siakam, man, but the thing is that fans do look at the game a lot different than an organization. The organization is still looking at it, as though it's a business, and fans, we just love the team regardless. Players come and go, and we're still fans of the team. You know what I mean? So it's a major difference the way they look at it. I think it'd be a horrible move to get rid of this kid. He's a bona fide player. I know they got a championship out of the deal, but I always think it's a horrible deal to push all your chips into the middle of the table to get one player. They got Kawhi Leonard for 1 year on a rental, and they sort of like put their future on the line for that one championship, and now they're at the point where it looks like they have to rebuild all over again. And maybe they're looking at Siakam as that piece to regain some of those draft picks that they lost when they got Kawhi Leonard for that 1 year. I don't know. I don't know why you would get rid of him because he seems like a stable piece.
Didn't they just pay Fred VanVleet a whole lot of money to keep him? I'm like, I'm saying to myself, like, I don't understand what Toronto's doing. Well, speaking of things about what people and what they're not doing and doing and everything else, Kelly Oubre for the Golden State Warriors is playing very, very well. But he's on the block, believe it or not. He's on the shopping block right now because Golden State, even though they lost 2 games, they won 2 games, but they want to add one more additional piece. Now, I don't know if Kelly Oubre is the guy they should trade or not and everything else because he did really well. But talent, if you're Golden State, he's a future star for the Golden State Warriors. I think he's another player that you don't touch this dude. You don't. Right. I mean, he balled out last night. You don't touch him. I think you leave him alone. But again, this is one of those things that what the hell's management doing? What do you think?
I mean, I agree with you. I mean, it's certain. I think that we always talk about how the game has changed. I think if the game has changed, some of this mentality has changed. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's a no-brainer. Old school NBA. Every team has a guy or 2 or 3 that these guys are untouchable. We're trying to move forward. We're trying to change some pieces, but these pieces stay put. We're trying to build around them. I think the game, like we talk about the game has changed. I think some of the reasoning and the strategy seems to be changing. I think these guys, maybe they think that they can build a new team and it's no matter. Like, no, everybody's expendable. It doesn't matter. Like, I mean, with the exceptions of the LeBrons, the Damian Lillards, the Kawhis, like everybody else seems to be expendable, which is ridiculous to me. You may not have a LeBron on your team, but you have that guy who's the best guy.
Yeah. I mean, that's why I look at it the same thing. Fig, what you think?
The only thing I can think of is the one thing I think that helped the Golden State Warriors win those championships that they won, other than talent, was the fact that they had this and the fact that they had this camaraderie that was on the team, and they had a certain culture, and everybody got along, and everybody did things a certain way. Maybe when you see a Kelly Oubre, maybe he's not, maybe he's doesn't fit the culture of the team. That's the only thing I can think about. The only thing I can think about, unless they're going to get back a couple of pieces for this one piece. You know what I mean? Maybe they get 2 better pieces, you know what I mean, for this one guy. Maybe 2 players not as good as Kelly Oubre, but it'll fit what it is that they're actually trying to do going forward this year. Now, so maybe a couple veterans, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Now, here's another question for you, because I've been looking at the Celtics and I've been reading the boards and stuff and everything else. It seems that the Celtics are looking at trade offers for Kemba Walker. Kemba Walker right now is not playing; he's injured, and so I guess the question is, if the Celtics can win without him, should they trade him? You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Now, I would go on record right now saying I'm 50-50. I'm on the fence because the Celtics are doing much better with Tristan Thompson. You know what I mean? Because the Celtics needed a center. They needed a center. And I think Kemba Walker is small, but he's still a good dude. Like, I like him. But should the Celtics trade him, Kemba Walker talent? What you think?
I said it before. I say it again. No, I think that the biggest mistake the Celtics can make is trading Kemba, because the worst thing is just when you guys become viable again, you create this revolving door of top-notch point guards. It can't end good. It can't end good. It took you a minute to get back to being a top contender in the Eastern Conference, and a lot of that had to do with guard play. Let's face it. So then you became a revolving door of the guards, from Isaiah to Kyrie. Now we're talking Kemba. I think that the Celtics are they've been built around, and backbone is good guard play. And if you keep becoming a revolving door guard play, the team is going to digress. Mm-hmm. Word of the day.
Digress. I like that word of the day. Especially since I was an Isaiah Thomas fan. I like that word of the day. Fig, what you think?
Yo, man, talent took the word right out of my mouth, because when you say that Kemba Walker's on the trading block, the first thing that came to my mind was revolving door. Mm-hmm. And that's what it looks like the Celtics are doing, man. It's just like, yo, Danny, really, like, what's up? You got this young core of players, and you keep letting these guys come in and out. And the funny part about it is, it's the same damn position. Mm-hmm. You got rid of Isaiah Thomas. He got injured. He was due for a big contract. You got rid of him. Kyrie Irving comes in. He doesn't fit the culture. You get rid of Kyrie. You got Kemba Walker. He seems to fit the culture and plays, but he gets injured. Now you looking to shop Kemba Walker. I'm like, yo, man, that is not a good. It doesn't seem good for the Celtics organization. When you think Celtics, whether you like them or not, you think stability and a great organization. To have these guys come and go like that just seems like a bad move for the organization for whatever reason. And maybe because the guys are injured, but that even looks bad. Isaiah Thomas was injured. Kyrie got injured. Kemba Walker got injured. So it's like if you go to the Celtics, you get injured, they're going to get rid of you. And you know they just got rid of your boy and sent him away. Gordon Hayward, they just got rid of him, and he got injured. So now we got 4 players that you're getting rid of simply because they're injured. It doesn't seem like a good move. PR-wise.
I'll say this on PR-wise, you're right. But on the record, if I'm owning the Celtics right now, I'm not mad at them for getting rid of players that are injured. I'm trying to make the NBA Finals, and you can't make the NBA Finals with players that are injured. But let me ask you about this, man. Talent. The Milwaukee Bucks last night hit 29 threes in the game. They set an NBA record. They were on fire. The Milwaukee Bucks, in the span of 4 or 5 games, they looked horrible, and they look amazing. As of last night, they looked literally amazing. The Milwaukee Bucks literally could be trending in the right direction, whereas literally 48 hours ago you were talking about what the hell's wrong with Milwaukee. You know what I mean? So I don't know if they do it good. I don't know if they do it bad. But what's your thoughts about the Milwaukee Bucks right about now, this early in the season?
Well, I know to be true is that's what takes you to fix your team is to get a mopping ass whooping from the New York Knicks. After that ass whooping, they turned it around, buddy. They said, "Hey, coach, this is unacceptable." You know what happened? The Knicks beat their ass, and I heard this. Is what I hear. This is just a rumor. I know a couple of people in the front office. I heard the GM came into the locker room with a copy of the contract that Giannis just signed. And there's a clause in there that says, until you do right by me, we're going to hold up these checks. So I think that what happened was, but all jokes aside, that'd be a wake-up call, though. Like, you think, yeah, we lost this one. But for the Knicks to be undersized and go in there and hand you an ass whooping like they did, that was a wake-up call.
Yeah, it really was.
That's a turner. There's losses and then there's losses. You understand what I'm saying? And that was one of those losses that turned things around. Like, okay, guys, but we're not going to do that this year. I know they're trying to come up and get their stuff together, but not in Milwaukee. Not here. Not tonight. And I think that was the thing that turned it around, Frank. I think they're going to trend in the right direction. They're going to do what Houston and Milwaukee are replicas, right? They always win, good records, points scored. The 2 guys are battling for the scoring title. They give you all that. And then they get to the playoffs and let you down.
Yeah.
Fail.
Yeah, but one thing they don't have is they never had a loss to the New York Knicks on their record. Ain't that right, Fig? I think that motivated them more than anything.
Yo, man, let me tell you something. I watched that game. I was surprised at anybody else. And the one kid that I thought that was untouchable on the Knicks, or one of the players that I thought was untouchable on the Knicks, Mitchell Robinson, and this new kid. But I like Mitchell Robinson's potential. Young kid, man, played very well on the defense. We beat them down, like mollywopped them. They got their behind severely whipped. But guess what? They turned around last night and mollywopped somebody else. They was like, listen. It was like, this shit gonna roll down the hill. We not gonna be the only ones taking this. Somebody else they beat somebody else by like 30, 40 points just the other night. So, yeah, man, I don't know what it is that they're doing, but clearly a lot of these teams have not reached their NBA legs or their NBA form just yet.
Which is funny because some teams have had 6 months off versus some teams that, they were in the playoffs, they didn't. Now, speaking of some teams that had a long time off, let's look at the Washington Wizards. The Washington basketball team, they got Russell Westbrook. Russell Westbrook put up a triple-double. He did 21 points, 15 rebounds, 4 assists last night. They played the Bulls. They still lost. Now, is Russell Westbrook making Washington better or worse? Because we all know they got Russell Westbrook in a trade, and right now I think they're sitting up there saying, we ain't really won anything since we got Russell Westbrook. We're not really better with Russell Westbrook. They got to be saying that. They got to be saying that. Russell's putting up better numbers, but for him personally, but the team overall is not a better team. You know what I mean? They literally, it was an equal trade. They're doing the same thing. There's no progression for them. What you think, Alan?
Well, I think come on, let's keep it real. It's Washington.
Mm-hmm.
There's a big deal going on with the stimulus check.
Mm-hmm.
So until we get $2,000
or $600,
I don't care who you put on that thing. Until they cut that check for $2,000, they're gonna lose. They're gonna be lose. They need. Let's keep it real. Even before they did the trade and John Wall was out of there, they needed pieces. They've always needed pieces. You're not gonna win with the Beal combination with the Wall or the Beal combination with Westbrook. They're little guys that are gonna do exactly what they're doing. They're gonna put up numbers. They're gonna pad numbers. They're gonna get stats. But the league is big, man. If you can't move them bigs, you can't compete. If I could throw a 7-footer or two at the 3-point line, and you can't put one up there to match or block or make that person not take that shot, you're just a bunch of little guys running up down the court. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, and that's just the fact in this league. It's a big league, but a different big league. It used to be a big down low league. Now it's a big up top, and they don't have the pieces.
Fig, what you think?
Yeah, man. To tell you the truth, man. I always said, it goes back to who's the best and stuff like that. But I always like, if your numbers don't add up to wins and your stats don't add up to wins, like, who the hell cares? Mm-hmm. I don't care about your stats. So what, you put up 100 points if you lost the game? So what, you got 25 assists if you lost the game? Russell Westbrook, ever since KD left OKC, he's been putting up triple doubles. As a matter of fact, he averaged a triple double for 3 years. But what have you won? So I really don't care about your longevity. I don't care about your points. I don't care about your stats. If you are not winning championships, they're empty calories. It's just like, I can eat a bunch of food, but if I don't get no nutrition out of it, they're empty calories. So stats really don't mean anything to me unless they add up to wins. And that's pretty much what Russell Westbrook has been putting up ever since he left KD. Yeah. I mean, ever since KD left him.
Yeah, you can't even deny that one way or the other. All I know is that right now, the way Russell Westbrook is, he can't catch a break. He's going from one losing team to another losing team, like, he can't seem to catch a break and land on, a losing team. So my last question about Russell Westbrook before I even bring in Rodney Perry is, I guess, Challenge, do you ever think he is going to land on a winning team and he's going to do like how these, like LeBron is doing and saying, you know what, I'm waiting till I become a free agent and I'm going to pick where I'm going to go? You think he's going to ever land on a winning team? Or,
absolutely. First of all,
Charles Barkley.
Yeah, first of all, I think he will. I think, we got to show him some respect. He was Westbrook on the West Coast. He's over there now. He's Russell Eastbrook. He's on the East Coast. I think that he's young enough. He's young enough, Frank, to another season or two to have his pick of the litter and join a team that's trending in the right direction and give them something. I think that's the biggest transition nobody talks about in basketball with the stars. The players that reach star level, right? I think the biggest problem and the hurdle that they're going to have in their career is getting to the point in the reality of transitioning to the guy, from the guy to a guy. From the guy who you build around to a guy who can help you win a chip. That's a big transition for a superstar deemed player. You know what I mean? I think they all struggle with that. I think 10, 12 seasons down the line, now there's this whole new crop that came in who people are building around. You used to be the guy they build around. Now you're not. Can you mentally play ball and become the guy that helped pretty much a Carmelo Anthony right now? He was the guy you built around. Now he's the guy that, what can I do to help this team?
Fig,
I think he will.
Fig, is Russell Westbrook that guy who's going to be the guy who teams don't want because we can't seem to win? Because you know how they have some superstar guys who, no matter where you go, James Harden's the same thing. You got these guys are balling out, and they're just not going to win. You're just not going to.
I think Russell Westbrook is a 2-guard, that just goes out. Just two things that I think Russell Westbrook could do on any team and make them better. One, share the ball more and take less three-pointers. He's never been a good three-pointer shooter. Russell Westbrook, to tell you the truth, his game is more geared towards like a Michael Jordan, because Michael Jordan had a nice mid-range game and he could get to the hole on anybody and he was ferocious.
Yeah.
That's what Russell Westbrook is not. He's a horrible three-point shooter and he just won't get that out of his head. If he puts in his mind, I'm going to make everybody on my team better, Russell Westbrook would become the most sought-after player, probably one of the most sought-after veterans in the NBA, because I don't care what nobody says. That kid is still ferocious, and he still plays with more heart than anybody I've seen in a lot of years, and he could get you buckets.
Okay.
He froze again.
Frank? Oh, Frank.
Yeah, I think Frank.
Asleep.
Let's get a big three and.
Hey, Frank, your Wi-Fi crazy today, huh?
Yeah, I must be renting it today. I don't understand.
Well, I get a pillow and sleep on the router today.
Actually, you know what it is? It's got to be it's got to be too much. My computer got too much going on right now. Anyway, Rodney Perry, what's going on?
Good afternoon, gentlemen. Talent, Fig.
What's up, Rod?
Rodney!
It's all good. You guys in rare form today. I tell you what. Get right to it. Let's go back. We talked about Dallas and the Dak Prescott. Look, I've been really been kicking this around in my head. And how about this? Dallas, Dak is not destitute. Dak is getting money, right? So is Dak going to get the big contract? Eventually, they're going to have to pay him or he's going to go somewhere else.
Right.
He's proven to be the guy. The team rallies behind him. He's a leader. And so they will have to pay him. But he's on track right now. If they keep giving him this $35 million a year, he's really making. He's got the deal that he wants. Really, if you do the math, if you put that 30-something million over 5 seasons, that's almost exactly what your boy in Kansas City is making, right? Over which is his deal is over 10 years. So I mean, it's a lot. And Dak is okay, especially for a guy that's not playing. Okay,
Right.
For a guy that's not playing. And it's crazy this year. This season is so bad that Dak has done himself better justice by getting hurt and not being there. Like this NFL season is so bad that the fact that he was smart enough to get an injury has risen in stock, which is absurd. Toronto. Okay, how about this? Toronto is in absolute rebuilding mode. Should they get rid of Pascal Siakam? They don't have no choice. He's all they got. He's all they got. They already invested in the guard, right? So they got he's the last piece that could possibly begin the new era. He got to go. Pascal Siakam got to go. Period. He's a great guy. I would love to see him go to a lot of different places. He could end up and make some money and have a viable career, but he got to go. And then the word came up. Wouldn't you like to have him at the Knicks, Mr. Fig? Oh, depends on what we got to give up. All right, well, let's look at the Knicks and see who's valuable enough to keep around. Let's see. New York Knickerbockers. Oh, okay. The New York Knicks seem to have nobody that's worth a damn. Like, who would you not give up for Pascal Siakam?
Mitchell Robinson, R.J. Barrett.
I'd give up both of them.
You're not a Knicks fan.
That's probably true.
What the hell you talking about, Fig? What the hell you talking about? Anyway, we got to this gentleman, Kelly Oubre, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
I wrote my notes say Kelly who? They will be better off with Kelly Winslow. Okay. It'll be a better job to keep Kelly K-Dub Walker on the squad.
Mm-mm-mm.
You telling me Kelly Oubre, get out of town, dog. It's over.
Mm-mm-mm.
Get out of here.
Oh
The
man.
Celtics are exactly who they are. The Celtics are who they are. The Celtics don't value. If you get hurt on the Celtics, that's your last day. Everybody know that. Everybody know. I know we won't have some of this romantic view of the Celtics, but the Celtics don't give a damn. The day you get hurt, you got to be in the locker room going, well, that's it. Had a good run over here. It's over. They don't give a damn. Oh, you trying to get your big payday? So what? Where that little boy at?
Go.
Where he at? Is he still in the league?
I don't think so. I think
He works at Walmart. I saw him yesterday.
Yeah.
The Celtics don't give a damn about no guard. And you know what? What it reminds me of is how Celtics look at guards like we look at running backs in the NFL. Right? Running backs are very expendable. In the Celtics world, guards are expendable.
Mm-hmm.
And they don't give a damn. But it's not just guards. If your ass get hurt, just know if you wearing that green and little leprechaun on your back, they don't give a damn.
Oh man.
And then my brother Fig went on a tirade about how stats equal wins. I love that.
No, they don't equal wins. Stats don't equal wins.
Whatever. I said it on purpose so I can get you to repeat it.
Oh man. Yeah.
Stats don't equal wins. So you have to win. You have to get championships. Am I right, Mr. Fig? Unless you're LeBron James. Once you're LeBron James and you win over and over, people hate you for no reason. People just come out of nowhere and just talk about it for no reason. But guess what? LeBron James got wins.
Mm-hmm.
Who LeBron James got wins and stats. Stats and wins. Stats on stats and wins on wins on wins. Yet he still comes under fire, ridiculed. How many Westbrook got? That's all I'm saying. Y'all say Westbrook is on the Wizards and he hasn't done anything. The team isn't any better. That's because that's a lateral move.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the team is better because their guy was hurt. So they're better, but they're not better than if their guy was well. You know what I'm saying? So they're better, but they're not better. They're better because their guy, the guy that they rest everything on, that guy was hurt. So you got him out of there. Now you're back to square one with Russell Westbrook. You still need to build a team around him. And guess what? Wizards are one of those cities. We talked about Milwaukee, another one of those cities. Some cities just are horrible.
Mm-hmm. That's it. That's their trash. That's it. That's their trash.
I think that, and Talon spoke to this. Westbrook is probably going to have a great career down the stretch of his career. He's gonna probably have to humble himself at some point. He is not gonna win as long as LeBron James' heart beats.
Wow.
That's a great analogy. I like
as long as LeBron James' heartbeat, well, guess what? There's another heartbeat ahead of him too. KD heartbeat is still beating. There's another heartbeat ahead of him. The little light-skinned boy out in Golden State, his heart is still beating. Westbrook needs to get on a team with one of them. That's what Westbrook need to do. Westbrook, I'm gonna do it by myself. You ain't that dude. You ain't that dude. We put you with James Harden. Guess what? He ain't that dude. Y'all two need to get together and go somewhere with somebody else good.
Yeah, everybody, that is my man Rodney Perry with his.
I'm not finished.
You got hurt. Come on, Rodney. Got to keep it going. Keep it going. Keep it going.
Big said something else that appalled me, and nobody moved. Y'all didn't even say, yeah, you got a point. He was talking about Russell Westbrook, and he mentioned the great Michael Jordan in the same sentence.
Oh no, I heard that.
Russell Westbrook, he's just like Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan? Are you serious? They were destroyed. You go back. You go. I can't take it no more. My lights went out. I lost my light.
You lost his light with his shades on. Everybody, that's Rodney Perry. What I disagree.
Yo, y'all just got a few things wrong. First, Serge Ibaka wasn't like traded. Serge left. Okay.
I ain't say he got traded. I said he left.
Y'all was talking like, oh, we got rid of Serge Ibaka. That was a bad move. No, Serge left. He wanted to go play with Kawhi. Kawhi courted him. Gordon Hayward left Boston when he got hurt. He left. He had a player option. Kyrie Irving left Boston. Okay, so and I don't think Kemba's on the trade block for real. So I mean, I know we want to say the Celtics getting rid of guys when they get hurt, this and that, but these dudes left. Kyrie got hurt and left. Gordon Hayward got hurt and left. The only person that really got traded for getting hurt in Boston was Isaiah Thomas, and that was to bring in Kyrie, who is one of the top 5 players in the league. So, I mean, you live with that decision. You really do. So, yeah, that's about it, though. Y'all got the rest right. Rodney was on point, chopped y'all up. I don't know about Westbrook and Michael Jordan comparisons when the same person that can't even give stats and wins no credit for LeBron, but now we're comparing Russell Westbrook to Michael Jordan.
Now, Stack, I'll push back a little bit on this. You don't think Boston makes it really uncomfortable? Your ass get hurt. It gets really uncomfortable around there. Hey,
I mean, all I know.
Hey, where my chair at? Oh, you don't get no chair. You hurt.
All I know is that Gordon Hayward was hurt for a year and a half and was making $37 million.
Okay. Well, let me tell you this. Here's the thing. Let me correct y'all on this. If you have an option, if a player's on your team and you have an option to sign that player or let them leave, you let them leave. That's open and shut. It don't matter if I let you got first option. I'm on your team. Mm-hmm. You can say we don't want you to go. Sign on the dotted line. They don't go. If you don't do that,
what it sound like when you sign?
You let them go.
What it sound like when you sign?
Yo, Rodney. A lot of people been talking about you today, man. Say you got your Isaac Hayes on, man. You looking real debonair right there, my brother. You got that Isaac Hayes.
Let's do this. Let's do this. Look at Gordon Hayward. Gordon Hayward went to Charlotte Hornets. Now he's putting up better numbers. Stat. You see that, right? You ever seen? But I think that evolves down to one thing: more playing time. I think Brad Stevens is the problem at the Boston Celtics. I think his issue is he doesn't give the players his substitution issues. They're horrible. I don't even think he's like all that. But that's.
I agree. I think that I got a lot of criticism for Brad Stevens. A lot of people talk about him like he's just this wonder child. If I'm gonna be honest, He waits too long to call timeouts. He'll watch a 20-point swing. When we was playing the Nets, we was up 5. Dude didn't call a timeout till we was down 15.
Brad's problem, let's keep it real. Brad Stevens' problem is he coaches like an old shoe salesman. He's the Al Bundy of coaches.
Yeah.
You know, an old shoe salesman, they will not admit that the shoes hurt or don't fit. Brad Stevens is Al Bundy of the NBA. He's an old shoe salesman.
I like that analogy.
You know what it is? He's good at coaching. He's good at coaching teams up. Like, he's good when he doesn't have a lot of talent, getting the most out of guys. But I feel like when he has an actual like roster full of talent, like the Celtics have a talented roster, he doesn't know how to coach dudes up.
Hey man, let me just say this. In clarification, when I compared when I compared Russell Westbrook to Michael Jordan, it was simply on the veracity in which he goes to the basket. He goes to the basket ferociously, and that was it. Has nothing to do with anything else.
And Rodney, you hit a nerve.
All right, let me ask you the last question of the day. Portland Trailblazers right now. The Portland Trailblazers are playing pretty good basketball right now. Charles Barkley has them coming out of the West and going to the finals, beating everybody. Stack, I'm going to start with you. Do you see Portland Trailblazers beating everybody, barring injury, and they end up landing in obviously the number 1 top seed and going to the finals? You see that, Stack?
No.
I'll be honest. I don't even think it's close.
No. I mean, the Lakers are coming out the West. Like, come on. Come on.
Dennis
Schroeder. Come on.
Why would you even ask that question? Why would you give that question to Stacks or Rodney? They got a tattoo of LeBron on their shoulder.
I mean, what? No,
they're not coming out the West.
Who? How? What? Why? What makes
Portland
that much better this year?
Here's what Charles Barkley said, and I'll say this. Charles Barkley said that injuries is the only reason why Portland wasn't able to move along in the finals last season. They did have injuries. He said if they didn't have injuries, they would have been able to move further and they could have beat everybody. That's what he said. Now, I don't know, that's why they play the game. Now, I would ask Rodney Perry, does he agree or disagree? But I'm sure he's a Laker fan. He'll go with that. So
let's take fandom out of it.
Okay, take fandom out of it.
Let's take fandom out of it. And I know we're coming down to the home trip, so I'll try to be brief. Here goes. Portland is good. They're a great squad. They're not the top in the West. We'll take the Lakers off the table. They're still not the best. They not better than Denver.
That's it.
Forget the top of the food chain. Forget. They're not better than Houston. Are they?
They're better than Houston.
Yeah, they're better than Houston.
They might be better than Houston now, but they wasn't better than Houston last year.
I put them on Dallas. I put them on Dallas's level.
I'll tell you like this: if it's between the Lakers and the West and the field, give me the field. I'll take the field all day long.
You gonna put money on it?
Field all day long.
Money on it?
I take that bet.
I got the field. You got the Lakers. I take the field.
I will take that bet
all day long.
To get to the championship?
Say what?
What's the bet?
The Lakers making it to the Western Conference Finals. I'll take the rest of the field.
You saying the Lakers won't make it out of the West?
Pick a team, Fig.
No, I'm not. I'm saying you guys got the Lakers beating everybody. I said
no. We talking about the West. We talking about the
everybody.
West.
You got the Lakers.
We talking about the West.
That's what I'm talking about. The West.
Yes, the Lakers are coming out the West, and if you take the
I got the field.
The Boston conversation.
All right, y'all. That's the show for today. We can argue about this from now to New Year's Day. I'm sure that we can argue about that. Shout out to everybody out there.
Hey, yo, don't follow me today. This is a very hostile show today. Don't follow me. I'll feel better tomorrow.
Fig, tell everybody how they can not follow you today.
Man, if you want to follow me, forget everything else. I'm on the box seats, baby, Monday through Friday, 1 to 2 p.m. And if you ain't on here, kill yourself.
Ooh.
Check out my YouTube, Rodney Perry Live on YouTube. And we missed the best analogy of the season, the Al Bundy analogy. Wow.
Yeah, that was dope. I got Al Bundy with Brad Stevens will never ever be repeated in the same sentence again.
Yeah.
Ever.
Y'all catch me at Stacking Over on Instagram and Twitter. Also catch me on Cash App, $ Stacking Over when Fig is paying me that $1,000 for that crazy bet he just made.
All right, y'all. That's the show. The show's called The Box Seats. We're on every Monday through Friday from 1 to 2. We are on the Humor Mill channel live. Make sure you check this out every week. Download the Humor Mill app. You can do it all the service providers and get the added channel. We'll see you tomorrow at 1 o'clock. Tomorrow's show's last week is Thursday, so we'll talk about all that. And then we got a couple other things we want to talk about. We're going to do the picks and all that. Top dogs tomorrow, all that.
Until then, get Stacks his mug. Stacks, you need a mug.
It's on the way.
It's on the way.
It's in the mail.